if x plus 1 is a factor of this function x exponent 3 minus 4x squared plus x plus 6, we are required to find the remaining factors. So the whole video here is about how to factor a polynomial. That is what the whole video is about. So if you are someone who have a problem with factoring a polynomial, this is for you. Specifically, this is where you have been given one factor. Now, the whole idea about factoring a polynomial is that you should make the thing simple. So making something simple here, what I mean by that is to make sure that the exponent of the x here doesn't exist anymore. So what I mean by it doesn't exist here is that the x should be single, like this one, right? So x should be single. That tells me that you are simplifying the whole polynomial. You are breaking it down into something very pieces. Now, how many factors are you going to get based on any questions that's being given to you? So the question is, how do you know that, right? So how do you know that? That is the big question here. Now, the secret here is that the exponent of the polynomial given to you will determine the number of the factors that you must get at the end, right? So the highest degree here is 3. That tells me that you should have 3 factors, right? So you should have 3 factors at the end. This is where you have been given one factor, so you need to find the remaining. That is why the question says that find the remaining factors of this polynomial. So how do you do that? If you are new here, don't hesitate to comment down below if you have any questions in mathematics, specifically high school or college mathematics, or if you have any question on that polynomial, make sure that you just comment in the comment section below. Now let's begin on how to solve this particular problem. Anytime you are given a question like this, and whereby you have been given one factor and then you have been asked to find the remaining factors here, all that we are going to do here is that if this guy is a factor of the polynomial being given to you, what it means here is that we are going to divide this guy by what? By this, for you to determine what the other factors. So here you must know how to do a long division. So we are giving that is the x exponent 3 minus 4x squared plus what x and then plus 6, right? So doing the long division here, so we are going to divide. So I don't know how you want to represent that, so you are going to divide this in by what? S plus 1. Is that okay? So that should be what your step here, because you are giving 1 as a factor. So this, we want to find the remaining factors, right? So meaning that since this is exponent 3, you must go to exponent 2 before you come to the exponent 1, right? It is a step. So step 1 is from the exponent 3 here, you go to exponent 2, and then from the exponent 2, then you go to the exponent 1, right? So now you are giving exponent or exponent 3. We are going to use the 1 here to arrive at the 2, right? Because we already know how this is a factor. So how do you divide this thing? So this is how you go about it. So you take the s exponent 3 divided by x exponent 1. It's going to be s exponent 2. If you don't know how I got this thing, just try and comment below. But the secret here is that s exponent 3 divided by what? X here is very simple, right? So this being assumed to be exponent 1. Is that okay? So if I take 1 from the 3 here, it's going to be 2, right? So that's just a very simple and a trick here. Okay, once you have the s exponent 2 here, you are going to use this thing to multiply. This is why you should have a little basic idea about what long division, right? Okay, so s exponent 2 here multiply by s exponent 1, that's going to be s exponent 3, right? So if you multiply, you are going to have 3 here, and then this multiply by that's going to be plus x squared, right? So s exponent 2 multiplied by 1 will give it to s exponent 2, of course positive, right? So here we are going to subtract. Now subtracting here means that you are going to subtract everything by this, right? So the remaining parts here are just 0 0. So if you want to write that for some if maybe I would advise you to do that. So since that is a basic, right? So you can do this. You know the reason why I added x to this, because this guy here, there's x here before the whole number without x, right? So maybe by doing this thing for the first time, as it continues, you don't need to do this thing again. So subtracting means that 6 minus 0, that should be 0, plus this minus that, right? What will be the answer? Right? What do you think the answer will be? That should be what? X, right? So x minus 0. This guy tends to be 0, just like 1 minus 0. That should go s. So plus what? Plus here. So what about these people here? These people, what are you going to do? Remember, negative 4 minus negative what? 1. Have you see? So this is equal negative 4 minus what? Minus what? 1 here. Is that okay? So there's 1 here. Negative 4 minus what? 1. So that is where these guys are the same. You just need to deal with the numbers that is attached to them. So that's going to be negative 5x squared. All right, negative 5x squared. So this guy here tends to be 0. Is that okay? So once again, if you have any question, make sure that you just comment along. If you are gaining some value from this video, why don't you do yourself a favor by subscribing to the channel for more content like this. Okay, once you have this answer, what we are going to do is that we are going to divide this thing by what? The s plus 1 again, right? Sorry, so s plus 1. So how do you do that? The same procedure. Is that okay? So negative 5s squared will go into this thing how many times, right? So that should be what? Just negative 5s, right? Just the same procedure as the first one, negative 5s here. Right, so you use this guy to multiply this. So here we are going to have negative 5x squared, right? So this one multiplied by that should be what? Negative 5x, and then everything tends to be what? 0, 0, right? Okay, so by subtracting, what are we going to have? We have here to be a positive 6, right? So here to be positive 6 here. So what happens to this guy? This guy is going to be what? 6. Can you see? X minus, that should be 1 minus 5. So 1 here, 1x here, minus, and then there's minus 5 here, right? So minus 5. That is what we are doing. Is that okay? So if that one comes, why don't you bring a minus here so that you put everything into bracket to avoid any misunderstanding here? Is that okay? So here tends to be positive 6. Remember there's x here, that's why you have all the 6x. And then this guy vanish, right? So negative 5. Negative 5 minus 5. So this guy tends to be positive, right? So plus 5, everything is equal to 0. So why don't you pause the video and try the final part here, right? So this will be the final part whereby, so this x here will go into the 6x how many times? Just what? 6 times. So positive 6 here, right? Just 6 times. So this guy multiplied by this, that should give us 6x, and then this one multiplied by that should be positive 6 here. So if you subtract everything, we should have 0 at the end. Is that okay? Right, very simple and straightforward. Now the whole trick here by doing a polynomial division in this way is that once you are doing, you can keep track of what the exponent, right? So from the exponent 2, we are going to what? 1, and then the final one will just be what? A number. Is that okay? So this is where we arrive at what? Something that we call a quadratic. So you should know how to solve a quadratic expression or equation, right? So as I said earlier on, from the exponent 3 here, which we have been given exponent 3, we arrive at the exponent 2 before you go to the exponent 1. We already know that this is a factor. So the work done here is that we are going to solve this expression and then find the remaining 2 factors. Solving this quadratic expression, which is s minus 5s and then plus 6 here, equal to 0, you should know how to solve this thing. So if you solve this quadratic here, you should arrive to s exponent s minus 2 and then what? S what? Minus 3. Is that okay? If you want us to solve this, if you don't know how to solve this quadratic, just comment in the comments. And then we have 1. We have been given 1 already. Is that okay? We have been given 1 factor here, so that is what is going to be the s what? Minus plus 1, right? So s plus 1. So these are what? The 3 factors that we have been required. And then of course these are the 2 remaining factors of the polynomial. Give us a thumbs up if you gain some value from this video, and then make sure that you subscribe to the channel for more content like this. So thank you for watching.